give Kristian a massive hand.
Well, that's not awkward at all, is it? Why don't you take your seats? Thank you, Steve. He knows how much I hate that as well. And enjoy it at the same time. Cool, so I had the privilege of I can't see any of you, so I'll just imagine you're there. I had the privilege of just sharing a few thoughts with you tonight, and as Peter said, it's my last Labesh. So it gets you thinking about loads of different things. And Cornwall's a really fun place to be, isn't it? I grew up in Cornwall. My dad was a minister of a church in Falmouth, and then I moved away and came back years later, and it was amazing to see how much the spiritual climate has changed in those years of being away. And we've been here for 3 years, is that right, Stephanie? 3 years, and just seeing how much God is doing in the county is amazing. So Cornwall's full of amazing things, amazing people, amazing places, and lots of strange people and strange places as well. And I could do a stand-up routine just on how strange our county is, but it probably wouldn't be the right context tonight. But I do want to tell you about a time when I tried to do the most Cornish thing I think I could muster up, and that was to learn to surf. Excuse me, because my voice is going a little bit tonight. But a friend in our church called Hugh had been nagging me ever since we moved down here, Kristian, you really need to get in the water and learn to surf. Now what Hugh didn't know is when I moved away from Cornwall and I moved to Essex, and I was doing my A-levels, everybody knew that I'd moved from Cornwall, so everybody assumed that I was a surfer. And I didn't put them, you can tell by looking at me, right? I didn't put them wrong, or didn't put them right, and I just let them think that I was a surfer, and I had this kind of, I know what I'm doing now when it comes to, was it far out and all that stuff, I don't know. And,
you're not a surfer.
No, dude. Totally not a surfer. So Hugh said, we're going to get in the water, and he invited me about 7 or 8 times to go surfing, and every time he invited me, I looked outside, and it was raining. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to go surfing in the rain, I'm going to get wet, it's ridiculous. Like, who can go surfing in the rain? And I ran out of options when our friends from Manchester, who were also go all over the world surfing, came down to stay with us. And we sat one night, and Mark and Nicola said, tomorrow we're going surfing and you're coming with us. I was like, well, sorry, but I don't have a board. And they said, it doesn't matter, we brought one with us for you. I'm like, amazing. I don't have a wetsuit. It doesn't matter, we brought one with us for you. So the next day I squeezed into this wetsuit, which was obviously about 5 sizes too small for me, and they gave me this board which was a monster. It was like 9 foot something long. And what was really intimidating, it was this Mark's granddad's board, and it had a picture of Mark's granddad right in the middle of the board. So all day I just, anyway, that goes for Mark's granddad. And we went down just by hail and we went surfing. And the guys put me on the beach and said, this is what you're going to do, you've got to practice popping off or something. So they laid the board on the beach, and I practiced jumping up to my feet. I did it twice, and yeah, that'll do, get in the water. And I said, what do we do? I said, all you have to do, Kristian, is you have to lay on this board and you have to paddle as hard as you can until we tell you to stop. I was like, okay, that sounds easy. So I laid on this board, and we paddled, and I wish I had a video to show you because it was hilarious. Well, I got caught in this area where it felt like every wave in the ocean decided to break on me. And it got to a point where Hugh said to me, Kristian, it's going to be easier if when you see a wave, you jump off your board and just duck under the wave and then come on, and then jump back on the board again. The problem was, every time I jumped off my board and went onto the wave, by the time I got back up, I didn't have enough energy or time to get back on the board before the next wave hit me. And I just got smashed for about 20 minutes. And finally, there was a break in the waves, and I got out back, is that right, Tina?
Yeah,
Get me. I got out back, and I was exhausted, and Hugh goes, why don't you just lay there for a while? I'll lay there for an hour, mate. Yeah, I just laid there, floating around, looking like a seal waiting for a shark to eat me. And I just laid there on this board, absolutely exhausted. And I was shattered, and then they said, right, the next thing you're going to do is when this wave comes behind you, we shout now, you're going to paddle with everything you've got, and then you're going to jump up like we taught you, and it's going to be glorious. So this wave came, and I paddled with everything I've got, and the wave moved, and I didn't. And we did this a few more times, and then this glorious moment happened, where I paddled with everything that I had, and I felt the board move, and I heard Hugh shout, no! And I grabbed the board, and I jumped up, and I landed on my feet, and for about half an hour I stayed on that board, surfing it to shore. In my mind, that's what happened. What really happened was I jumped up too close to the front of the board, went off the front of the board, came up out the water with salt water in places you shouldn't get salt water, pouring down my eyes, my nose, spitting it out, and all I saw was Mark, Nicola and Hugh just go, and what I didn't realise is this board had come up straight behind me and just come straight down on my head. And I went back under the water for a little while and came up, and I was exhausted, and I just made my way back to shore and said, I'm just going to sit and have a little rest if that's okay with you. And he said, mate, it was what nobody realises is that surfing is 90% work and waiting and 10% surfing. It's 90% working and waiting and only 10% actually surfing. And that wasn't my final time in the water. I went back in twice more and I did stand up and it was glorious and it didn't last much longer, but it was good fun. And I sat and I watched these other surfers, and do you know what? He was so right. These guys would get up, sometimes at ridiculous times in the morning, and they will paddle against nature and against the gravity and against water and against tide to get out to this spot where they just sit and they wait. And they wait for the wave, and they know when the wave is coming, they know it's the right wave, I don't know how they do, but they do. And then they move and they get on this board and they surf. And if you timed it out, they stand up on that board and surf for probably 30 seconds, maybe a minute if they're really good, right? And they come back in and they tell you about that 30 seconds. And you're like, how long were you out there? And like, oh, we're out there all day, we're out there hours. And like, you went out there for hours and you're surfing for like such a small amount of time. But like, yeah, but did you see that wave, man? Was it gnarly or whatever it was? They say. You know, and they're talking about this wave. And it got me thinking that, you know, in the Bible it talks about two different types of time. It talks about Chronos, and Chronos is the tick, 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 tick time. It's what Tiva's looking at now, wondering how long I'm going to speak for. And then there's this Kairos time. And Kairos is that moment when you catch the wave, when everything stands still and time stops. It's that moment when you get to share your faith with someone and they give their yes to Jesus. It's that moment when you pray for someone and healing breaks through. It's that moment in worship where you just feel the presence of the Lord invade your space and everything stands still and nothing matters. And do you know what? These surfers, they live for that moment. And they tell you about that moment. But really, 90% of what they do is working and waiting. I want to suggest tonight that there are people in this room that you are like those surfers. And you work, and 90% of what you're doing is working and waiting. And you're paddling against the tide, you're paddling against currents, you're paddling against the world to get out back, to sit there and wait for that wave to come. And I really, really, really believe that as you consistently pray for people, as you consistently share your faith, as you consistently paddle and build up those muscles and build up that endurance, and you sit there, I want you to know that the wave is coming. I want you to know that that wave is coming. When you speak to a surfer, it's never about if the wave is going to come. It's about when the wave comes. When you speak to a surfer, it's never about, oh, if the wave happens to come today. It's when that wave happens today. And it's judged in the quality of the wave, not whether it comes or not, right? And you chat to these guys and they just get it. And do you know what? What I didn't need when I got back in to shore on that glorious day was someone sat on the beach telling me how to surf. I listened to Hugh because he got in the water. I listened to Hugh because he knows what he's talking about. And again, there are some of us in this room who have heard every talk, read every story, listened to every worship song, and it's time for you to get in the water. It's time for you to paddle against the tide. It's time for you to work and get out there, because there is a wave coming. There is a wave coming to Cornwall, and it's a set of waves. And it's going to come, and it's going to roll on the shore, and the people that are going to get it are you, the worshippers. The ones that share your faith relentlessly. The ones that pray for people even when nothing happens. The ones that push into worship and push into praise and push into moments of encounter even when it doesn't seem that much is happening. There's a wave coming to Cornwall, and you that are going to get it and ride it first. And there will be people from all over this nation, I believe, that will come to see what's going on, come to hear what's going on, and want to get in the water. The ones who will ride it first are the ones that are positioned, waiting, ready for the wave, and that's you guys. You guys will ride this wave, and you will see it, and you're experiencing it, not because you're blessed, not just because you live in Cornwall, but you are consistently in the water. And you're consistently building that muscle and that energy to paddle against culture, to paddle against sometimes church culture, to paddle against what your friends say, to paddle against what you think is right, but you're paddling out back because you know you're going to sit there and wait for this wave, and the wave is coming, and you're going to ride it, and it's going to be glorious. And when you do, it'll be that Kairos moment where everything stands still. When it doesn't matter how long you ride it for, and do you know what will happen? You'll get into shore, and all you will do is talk about the wave. And all you will do is talk about that moment, and all you do will share about that moment. And for those of you who have been doing this and doing it and doing it, my word to you tonight is keep going. Keep going. Keep going, because that wave is coming. And for those of you that aren't yet in the water, get in. Get in and join those that are, and paddle hard and get out back and sit and wait for this wave to come, because it's coming. It's coming. Can we stand together? We're going to spend a bit more time worshipping tonight, and I want this to be our focus for tonight, that we are posturing ourselves and we're positioning ourselves and we're humbling ourselves in a position ready to catch the wave. Those guys, when they get out back, they just know when it's coming, but they don't switch off. They sit and they wait, and they judge the motion and they judge the ocean and they work out what's happening, and they catch that wave because they're ready. So why don't we, for a few moments, just surrender ourselves again to God? Why don't we put ourselves in a posture of being ready to receive what He's got for us? That we call out of ourselves those areas that need to be dealt with, and that we just get ourselves ready for that wave when it's coming. Holy Spirit, we welcome you in this room. We thank you that you're already here. Would you call us deeper into you? Would you call us deeper into you, Father, as we worship you? Some of you, the tide that you are swimming against is people telling you that it will never happen to you, that it will never happen in your church, that it will never happen in your town. And to you, I want to say that wave is coming. For some of you, you are witnessing relentlessly to a particular group of people. It may even be family. And the temptation is to say that it's not going to happen. But I want you to know that wave is coming. Some of you, you're swimming against the tide of stuff that you are caught up in, of stuff that you're trying to get free from, of stuff that you need to leave behind, that's weighing you down. And God just wants to take that from you tonight, so that you can get out back and be ready for this wave. Some of you are experienced surfers. You know what you're doing. You've paddled out back and you've ridden this wave before. Would you encourage those of us that aren't that used to it? Would you call some of us deeper into our faith, deeper out into the water, that we might join you, that we might ride this wave together?